Congratulations, Pat. Ucore receives a $4.28 million funding agreement from the Government of Canada. Can you tell us, congratulations, why did the Canadian government decide to grant you this funding?
Well, the Canadian government, as you know, is very involved with critical mineral processing, and they want to make sure they've got all the best-in-kind technology to drive forward here in the 21st century with green energy transition. A lot of talk recently about battery metal technology, and they've been watching the rare earth sector and looking to make the right investments at the right time to move forward. As you know, we have our RapidSX technology commercial demo plant in Kingston. Canadian government officials were there. They saw it. They liked what they saw. And subsequently, they put forth an award for processing light rare earth and $4.28 million. Perfect. We'll use all of it to continue to march towards commercialization.
Jack Lipton earlier today commented on this news release. He thought it was substantial. He said Ucore's this is a sign of confidence, of dual government support for both the United States and the Canadian government also working together. And he thinks we should see a lot more of this. And he commented on your additional support from the U.S. Department of Defense. Would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, Jack he's pretty sharp. So he realizes that the U.S. DoD previously had funded us for a $4 million U.S. program to process heavy rare earth. And there's no processing of heavy rare earth to oxide level outside of China. The U.S. DoD very concerned about the industrial markets, the defense needs, and put forth a program using, again, alike for our RapidSX technology, our Kingston demo plant. They've been there, they saw it, they really appreciate it. And the Canadian side said, hey, you've got the heavies going with the U.S. Let us take care of the light side. We'll fund the light processing because, as you know, both lights and heavies are needed to create permanent magnets and all the downstream that help, everything from electric vehicles to wind energy and you name it. So yes, a complementing dual government support here. Very, very well done.
Yeah, so we saw a strategic implications of this particular news. Again, we'd like to congratulate you, but also this is about your technology demonstration and milestones moving forward. So with the focus on demonstrating the RapidSX technology, what are the key milestones and technical achievements Ucore aims to reach during this project?
Well, we actually are going to get to purified product. So, on the Canadian side, the praseodymium, neodymium, and praseodymium neodymium, NdPr are put together, all of those compounds. So all three that are needed for the magnet inputs for electrification, the purity levels needed for those particular products. So essentially, you'll have qualified product that an OEM can look at, whether it's wind energy or Department of Defense or automotive, and they'll say, hey, there's a qualified product on a light rare earth side from the Canadian program that helps to justify the next stages of commercialization.
You've been a tremendous speaker, Pat, on collaborations and sustainability and the supply chain for North America in general. Can you talk to me about how this announcement, what kind of impact it's going to have on the North American supply chain?
Well, this is a critical need no matter where it is in the Western world. We have up-and-coming resources that are out there in the rare earth space, and they need a place to process and refine. They need a bridge between the resource and then the metal and the magnet making. So this technology, which is ideally suited for Westernization, and you've heard me speak before about the need to innovate. If you're going to take on the job of breaking the grip from China, let's do it in a very Westernized way. So we've got the right technology here to be able to join the resources that are developing with the downstream that are either magnet makers or metal makers and help create that bridge. So yeah, we're in a very pivotal spot. The U.S. government realized it, the Canadian government realized it, and we're going to march forward and get this job done.
One last question. Does this change your long-term objectives? Does it make them faster? Or what kind of impact does this announcement have? Or is this just keeping you on track, Pat?
It does a little of both. It does certainly keep us on track. But when you're given that type of funding, both from the Canadian side and the U.S. side, essentially what they're saying is please run thousands of hours on your plant and develop the commercial metrics that allow you to plug into a full-size commercial plant. And if you didn't have that funding, you might be coming up a little light and saying, well, let's run 500 hours on the plant instead of running thousands of hours on the plant. Let's run one feedstock instead of two feedstocks. So it allows you to really vet out all the things that need to be vetted out. And as you know, my background's automotive, and when you're developing a tier one supply plant for automotive or any other OEM, you've got to make sure that your robust commercial nature of your development plan is on point. This funding from the Canadian government and previously from the US government allows us to march forward and stay on track, but really make sure we do the job thoroughly.
So, Pat, I think in addition to Ucore receiving this 4.28 million funding, I'd like to draw our audience attention back to what you've been doing in Louisiana and the strategic process that you're and groundwork that you're laying down there.
Yeah, certainly. So the demonstration plant in Kingston, that only gets its full, I guess, breadth of execution when you actually put it to commercial use. So we located a building, many buildings a year ago, and bedded it down to one, narrowed down through due diligence to one in Alexandria, Louisiana. And that particular building that we have is 80,800 square feet. As you build it, actually process 7,500 tons of rare earth oxide because of the space that's in there. So the RapidSX technology we have in Kingston will be plugged into Louisiana. So we have the engineers from MECChem in New England working on the layout of the process for the plant. We've engaged with Orbital Engineering out of Pittsburgh. They build big energy plants. They too are working on the development going forward. And the engineers will talk, Tracy, about all the different rare earth lines that are heavy rare earth, light rare earth, and how we'll ramp up from 2,000 to 5,000 to 7,500 tons. I quite frankly look at the plant and I go, that's 7,500 ton plant. That's actually 3.8 million electric vehicles. And it's also 7,500 Haliade-X offshore wind turbines that would power 120 million homes. There are 140 million homes in the US. These government programs are important because when you start with the government program, they really want to see you get through to full commercialization. On the US side, the program, it's a $4 million program. There's an additional part of this OTA, other transaction agreement, that allows you to fund further into Louisiana. From the Canadian side, they're funding the lights, but they're looking at us saying, hey, we'd love to have plant number 2, SMC number 2, set up in Canada. So it's really a smart way to work with the governments to get done what needs to happen. And there's your Louisiana update, but the Canadian government have their sights on, let's take it a step further. Let's build that second plant back in Canada.
I'd like to congratulate you on your collaboration and your work with both the US and Canadian government. And of course, for anybody out there who would like to learn more about this deal and other Ucore deals, please go to their website. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Tracy.